Obviously, just the case in general is a very, very troubling situation, but I'm glad that more and more facts are being released now so the community can see just all that went into really the murder of Casey Goodson, Jr.
Tonight, calls for justice for Casey Goodson ringing louder across the city. Pastor Michael Young has been on the front lines with the family, demanding answers. They say now is the time for charges against the deputy involved. Tonight, Rodney Dunnigan has more on a community's growing frustration.
What is taking so long? That's the message tonight from those connected to Casey Goodson. They believe the evidence is clear, saying he was murdered by Franklin County Deputy Jason Meade back in December. They stress the coroner's report lays it all out. He was the innocent victim of a shooting that didn't have to happen.
When I look at the facts to me lead to one conclusion, that Casey Goodson Jr. was murdered.
Pastor Michael Young fed up, wondering why the investigation into the deputy-involved shooting death of Casey Goodson hasn't led to charges.
So I think there's frustration in the fact that it's taken 4 months and there's really been no real movement as it relates to action against him.
With the release of the coroner's autopsy into the shooting, more questions. The report revealing Goodson was shot a total of 6 times, all from behind.
You know, you got 6 shots that went in the back, exit wounds from the front, shot through the screen door. So I think the more facts that the community gets, I think the better.
Young has worked closely with Goodson's family, standing with them at vigils and protests as they deal with the loss, saying they've been strong, but indicating the family, along with the community, needs answers.
I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a prosecutor, but when I just look at the facts, a young man was shot 6 times in his back. And we know that the keys were in his door. We know he had sandwiches in his hand. I don't know how a young man who has sandwiches in his hand, keys in the door, shot 6 times in the back could be considered a threat.
Pastor Young tells me the fight for charges in this case is far from over. He says the community will continue to stand with the Goodson family and not only demand charges in this case, but continue to demand changes within law enforcement and how officers and deputies deal with the community. On your side tonight in studio, Rodney Dunnigan, ABC 6 News.
Rodney.